Nintendo Direct League supposedly coming in early February. We break down everything this has to offer.
Block content.
What's happening, my block buddies, and welcome to a brand new episode of Blocked Content. My name is Callum, and this is going to be your content for today. We have a lot in store for you guys today because we're actually talking about speculation, this rumor that you guys have sent my way. I love it when you guys on Discord sent me information and stuff that is worth talking about. Now, of course, take this all with a grain of salt. This is information that has no basis, that is not really anywhere in the sphere of being completely correct or anything, but it is something worth talking about because it does actually talk about a whole lot of games that we are excited for, a whole lot of different things that we've rumored about and actually think are actually coming, and some stuff way out of left field. I'm talking Metal Gear Solid on Nintendo Switch, all that kind of stuff. I want to discuss it with you guys because there's so much in here, including a new Super Smash Bros. Newcomer. None of you guys have guessed this one, so I thought it would be really interesting to go down the list here. There's so much to talk about, and I want to dive deep into all the details that this has to offer. And I've been answering a lot of you guys' questions about all your favorite games, Mario Odyssey sequel, in our show Question Block, where I answer all of you guys' questions. What do I think about your favorite game? Or how do you start making YouTube videos? Well, whatever you can think of, send your questions through to blockedcontentmail@gmail.com, and I will answer your question live on the show in our next Question Blocked episode. And here's a brand new giveaway. You can win one of these Super Mario surprise capsules from Tomy. Any Mario item, Yoshi, different character could be inside. I leave them closed so you can find out what's inside when you win. And I'm giving away 4 of these. I just bought them here. It's incredible. I really want to find out what's inside. So like this video and subscribe to Block Content right now. All right, guys, let's get into the main topic of today. And that's, of course, this leak. Now, it just basically states everything that's going to supposedly happen in this thing. And it's, of course, by anonymous, so we can hide behind screen names if this isn't real. There's a lot indicating that this might not be real. There's also some very interesting stuff. So it goes Nintendo Direct 13th of February. At 6 p.m. PT, which is early morning. There is a ton of ports getting announced, so I'll separate the real announcements and ports. Well, it starts off with Okami 2, directed by Hideki Kamiya and Switch exclusive for 2021. Then comes Metroid Dread. Yes, we've literally talked about this yesterday. A 2D game developed by Mercury Steam. The lighting and graphics look incredible. Holiday 2020. Xenoblade Definitive Edition comes on July 31st. There is a Paper Mario RPG, August 28th. Now, Super Mario Odyssey 2 looks similar to the first one. I assume it started off as an expansion. Holiday 2020. And the Direct concludes with Dragonborn Smash reveal trailer and Fighter Pass 2 shilling. That's it for the new announcements. They talk about Breath of the Wild 2 briefly for a while, saying it's coming along well but won't release in 2020. And they talk about some ports. Metal Gear Legacy Collection. No Metal Gear Solid 4, but Portable Ops and Asset 1 and 2 are added to the bundle, which comes out June 2nd. BioShock Collection, May 12th. XCOM 2, May 26th. No sign of the first one though. Frostpunk, Summer 2020. The Outer Worlds, Fall 2020. Disco Elysium, no date specified, but I assume it'll arrive soon. FF4, 5, 6, and Chrono Trigger added to eShop immediately. So I guess Square were too stingy to let them in the SNES app. Right, Saints Row 4 coming July 17th, and Guilty Gear Strive announced for Switch. No port of XRD, unfortunately, though. That's it. Can't wait to see the reaction to Okami 2, Metroid, and the Smash Newcomer. See you guys on February 13th. And of course, yes, we're gonna have a whole lot of fun because that date is also the one where the Sonic movie actually comes out. And, you know, I've said a lot about the Sonic movie in the past, but I'm actually really excited for it now that I've seen all the recent trailers, the redesign of Sonic, and actually how great the voice of Jim Carrey fits with, like, Eggman, like Dr. Robotnik. Get that hedgehog! I think it's pretty cool. So, to talk about February 13th in a different sense, this supposed Nintendo Direct, everything that's stated here is something that I would potentially be excited about. So, that is already out of the gate a very positive thing that this has got going. But of course, if you're going to make something that is incorrect and that is maybe not factually right and that is maybe made up by someone, you're gonna probably want to do something that will catch the eye. Well, this certainly does that, right? He's talking about a lot of ports getting announced, and that's of course on the later half of this, and the opening of this whole thing is Okami 2, which I think is very interesting. We had an Okami spin-off on the Nintendo, I think it was DS, it could have been 3DS, and that game was actually quite cute. And the idea that a Switch exclusive sequel would be coming, that is a page right out of the Bayonetta 2 book. So I actually like that kind of idea. I think that the franchise would definitely be home on a Nintendo console, especially in terms of the art style. I think it really would fit with, something that Nintendo might be a little bit missing, which is a crazy out there art style. I mean, they did really well for Breath of the Wild and for a lot of other games, but that kind of style, we've only seen that in like the Wind Waker and games on the Wii era. I feel like there were even a couple of like third-person shooters that did it quite well, but to have this huge flowing new world with Okami 2, probably going to be a game that a lot of people want to play, because of course a sequel to that game way back when on the PlayStation, I mean, a lot of people are going to turn in for that. So Metroid Dread, and yes, it is the new 2D game developed by Mercury Steam, if this is to be believed. So Metroid Dread, right? It would be a very interesting sequel to Metroid Fusion, but of course, yeah, what are you going to call it, right? Metroid 4 or Metroid not Prime, right? So you got to have a title like that. The previous one that we got was Metroid The Return of Samus, which completely made sense because it was a remake. You're going to have to do something really cool and original, and the idea of Dread, that was in there for a while. That was rumored for a very long time to be this Metroid game that was shelved for a very long time because, it just didn't get made. There was no real big team devoted to this game, and ultimately it fell apart. Now, it seems Nintendo really wants to bring this back, and supposedly the lighting and the graphics, the game visually looks really, really great. So if this is true, then you have my curiosity, right, for my attention. Really, really cool. And then Xenoblade Definitive Edition, releasing a lot later than I would have guessed, July 31st, very, very much into the summer. Then Paper Mario RPG. Now, it just says this, no other information. So would this be, there is a Paper Mario RPG coming, or is the game literally titled Paper Mario RPG? For my money, I would say maybe it is titled Paper Mario RPG. I mean, where are you going to go with the series in terms of like the aesthetic? What are you going to do with the subtitle? What are you going to do with the style of things? Well, maybe just do something completely new that riffs on the old, which is Super Mario RPG, right? So maybe we're going to get a few characters in there, paper, that we usually know from Super Mario RPG, like maybe a Geno, maybe a Mallow. So make all the predictions you want about a, Super Smash Brothers style rebirth of this franchise. I think it would be really cool, Super Mario RPG to be incorporated with Paper Mario, but also it could just basically mean a Paper Mario RPG is coming. And of course, all the leaks up until this point have talked about some sort of remake of Paper Mario 64. They've talked about some sort of sequel to the series in the same vein as the Thousand Year Door. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. But everyone calling this makes me very excited and actually thinks that it might actually be happening very soon. Super Mario Odyssey 2, this is by far a game that I'm the most excited for. It's not yet been announced, but this is definitely a game that I would want to play day one because I think it's my favorite game on the Switch, like even better than Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I feel like Super Mario Odyssey really captured a great story for Mario finally. I feel like the open world aesthetic was really well done, and the movement of Mario has never felt better. So I only feel like expanding on this would be a great thing. I would definitely like play an expansion, and they are saying it looks similar to the first one. I assume it started off as an expansion, so kind of like what happened with Super Mario Galaxy 2, right? That famously got turned into a straight sequel just because they thought, well, we could probably sell this for a price tag of $60. So holiday 2020 for that one. And we got to talk about this, you guys. The direct concludes with Dragonborn in Smash reveal trailer and Fighter Pass 2 shilling. So yes, no other information from this, but Dragonborn in Smash would be a very interesting pick. A lot of people have kind of wanted a character like this where it's, not necessarily the most requested character, but I could see something like this happening way out of left field that would be very meaningful to a lot of gamers. The moveset you can already really see in front of you, with the magic and the, melee combat and everything. the style of the game would fit itself fairly well to some of the realistic elements of Smash Brothers, and it would be a very Western, inspired character, a fantasy type character, which we don't really have all that much if we don't count big anime fantasies, right? So that to me is a very interesting fact, and I just want to see if this happens for real. So all of those ports are really awesome too. I think that the idea of a Metal Gear Legacy collection with stuff like Acid 1 and 2, which were PSP games or something, that would be super awesome. And the Outer Worlds coming with a release date, Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6, and then Chrono Trigger being added and not being on the SNES app, right? Really fun and very strange stuff happening over here. So I'm generally curious if you guys have any thoughts on this. It's very interesting to say the least. If you comment down below, you could actually be featured and read out loud in our next video. And today's comment question is, do you think that this direct leak is real? And as for a previous comment question, our answer comes to us from our user, Almighty Savage Animator, saying, as a Smash Brothers fan, I knew Doom Guy had no chance to be in Smash anyways. I personally think Doom would work better in Mortal Kombat, but I could see a Doom or Cacodemon Mii costume happen, or Doom Spirits, but I might be wrong, and maybe he could be a playable character. We will just have to wait and see. I think these are really great ideas. I could definitely also see Doom Guy being a playable character in Mortal Kombat. That already, aesthetically really speaks to me, and you can do all the crazy stuff that you want with the character in terms of the rating. You can do all the things with all his different moves and all those awesome guns and the weapons that the character has. So sign me up for, Doom Guy in Mortal Kombat. And of course, it'd be really sad if the character didn't come to Smash Brothers. But yeah, one of the directors has basically said it's not happening. They haven't talked to us yet. And Sakurai's already closed down and said, well, we've talked to all the people that we need to talk to. We have all the characters set right now, so don't send me Twitter things. So that's very interesting, right? And the idea of a Cacodemon Mii costume, I feel like this leak has not yet been disproven. I really want to see where that takes us, and if a person comes forward and says, I made that, So let me know in the comments down below if you guys have any thoughts on that. Super thank you for sending in all your questions and your comments. These are so much fun to read through. And of course, a huge shout out to everyone donating through live chat and Patreon support. You guys make block content absolutely possible. If you want to have yourself created as a little block content guy, or have your own ideas animated by me, go to patreon.com/blockedcontent. There's a bunch of incredible rewards there, and they're waiting just for you. And remember, if you're not yet a member of the Blocked Content family yet, hit subscribe now, smash that like button, and ring the bell for notifications, and all the news and fun you care about will be delivered on the daily to you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around the corner, where there's always more blocked content. See ya!